Music volume muted.
Many homeless people across America and across the world sleep in very dangerous spots that can put them in harm's way each and every day, such as abandoned homes, under bridges, or in rough areas, or sometimes even in worse spots. In the wintertime or during big storms, sometimes homeless people definitely find homeless buildings, or even worse, sometimes they sleep in dumpsters and other things that could put them in risks. Such as, did you know, when they tear down buildings, not all the time they search the building to make sure nobody is inside. Sometimes a homeless person can be in fear and thinking it's the law that's going in. I think by law, all places that tear down buildings should be made to walk through the building that is being torn down, and they should say, hey, this is construction company such and such, we're about ready to demolish this building. This building is going to be torn down in a few minutes. Is anyone in here? This is not the law. You are not getting in trouble, but you need to leave the property immediately for your safety. And go through, and they should go through the attic, the basements, and each floor to check the closets and anywhere someone homeless could be. And they should do that to make homeless people safer. So many homeless people get killed each year in abandoned buildings that gets torn down. Yes, they do a quick walk through most companies, but they don't go through every single thing, basements, attics, and closets. If they could do that, or even send a drone through in case the home ain't safe, structure is safe for someone to walk through, a homeless person might still go through that structure even if it ain't safe to walk through, because it's better than being on the street in the elements or getting robbed or worse. And sometimes individuals will go and get past the hardest parts and hide somewhere safe that is still solid in the structure, and if the home gets torn down, they get killed in the process. And unfortunately, many people that happens to. Now also, the streets can be very dangerous for a homeless person. Sleeping on the streets, they could get mugged, they could get killed, they could get beaten. All kinds of things could happen to them sleeping on the street. In their life, they put every day in line of safety. They might sleep under a bridge, and it could be in a worse area because that bridge is shelter from the rain. They might sleep in a bus stop, and that could be in a rough area, and it can make them an easy target. Now, homeless individuals deserve respect because not all people that are homeless because of decisions they make. Some are homeless because of addictions, yes, but not all. Some people go homeless either their job drops them, they get unemployed, or they get their hours cut at work. Some homeless people actually work. I'm not sure if you knew that. Some homeless people actually are working and still trying to make a living and trying to get themselves out of homelessness, but it's so hard because once you're homeless, most landlords are discriminate. If you don't have a current address to use, you don't have a current place to say you are living as a reference, most landlords won't take you if you're homeless. Some will, but most won't. And that makes it harder for homeless individuals to find a place. Because not all homeless people want to go to public housing or these places. They want their own apartment that they can afford once they get back on their feet. And also, some homeless people are children, adults, elderly. It's all different. People can affect the elderly because rent went up. They're retired. They can't afford the rent, so they're on the street. And some homeless people even choose to sleep in dumpsters, which that's highly dangerous. And we should make laws about that too. Did you know when a dumpster is picked up by a trash company, they do not go through the trash at all if it's solid waste? Homeless people can be buried in landfills or sent to simulators and burnt. Yes, with no one ever knowing. And eventually that homeless person will go missing by a family member not hearing from them maybe a couple weeks later. And then they put as a missing person, they don't know where that person went. We need to make laws through the United States and other states that all solid waste is gone through before it's buried or incinerated. We need to make that laws across America and different countries. So this way, if a homeless individual accidentally did get inside of one of those trash trucks, that homeless individual don't get buried in a landfill or don't get burnt in a waste to energy plant. We need to prevent those things from happening also. And I'm trying to advocate and trying to make laws. I'm trying to get this all done to help the homeless. I'm also trying to make more laws for disabled people and make more things to help the disabled, help the homeless, and help many other people and elderly senior citizen. I'm going to try my best for advocating for you all. I'm a blind songwriter, blind singer, blind content creator. I'm not made of money. I'm a struggling blind musician. But in the future, I hope when I sell out concerts, when I travel, I'm going to use that money to help advocate and help make organizations to help the homeless, help the low income, and help the disabled. And also, I want to help animals. I don't like shelters that kill animals, and I don't like people who dump stray cats on the streets or stray animals. You know, if you trap a stray animal and you dump it somewhere else, that stray animal is used to that area and they were surviving on things they found. You dump them somewhere else, they're the stress and they could die because other animals will fight them that are strays because they feel they're a threat. So I hope you all understand animals deserve respect too. But this is about helping the homeless today. And I hope we can make laws to make it so construction sites have to send drones or some kind of robot machine, if it ain't safe for men to go through, to look for a homeless that has a speaker on it saying this home's ready to be torn down. And they should be made to stand outside the home and open up the door and speak inside the home to let people know, and do it on each floor with a drone. A drone can fly through places that ain't that sturdy. So a drone can go through the basement, can go through that first, second floor, and go through the attic. That's what we need to do to save lives. And we also need garbage companies to go through the solid waste before they bury or incinerate it to make sure they ain't a homeless individual that got trapped in there by accident. And we also need to make it so there are more shelters and more organizations to help the homeless. You see, people don't want to sleep on the street. They do it because there's nowhere else, because shelters are full. Do you know a family would choose to sleep on a street or in a car or in an abandoned place before they go to a shelter? Because most shelters separate the family. The women have to be at the women, the men have to be at the men, and the children get separated. And that can be scary because sometimes shelters can have bad people, sometimes they can have good people. And that can be scary for families, and they don't want to break their family apart during these times of need. We need to make more things to help the homeless. We need to fix abandoned buildings that are still livable, turn them into apartments for low-income individuals, and make it so we fix the homelessness. I promise you, other things will start straightening up. We fix the poverty issue of people being homeless, it'll be less crime. Because you see, sometimes homeless people do have to steal. They don't do it because they want to, they do it to survive. Most homeless people don't steal, though. A lot of them go without things. Some of them do things that they wouldn't even imagine doing just to get food in their stomach. It is so sad what homeless individuals go through each day. And I hope I can advocate and bring awareness and end this epidemic of people being forgotten that are homeless all over the world, and right here in America. First, I'm going to be working on fixing homelessness in America, advocating and doing what I have to do. I donate clothes. Whenever I have extra money, I donate it. Whenever I get money from families or friends, I'll buy stuff from online websites from them to give to the homeless. That's what I do to help the homeless. I'll buy clothes. I'll buy shoes. I'll buy socks. I'll buy duffel bags. I'll buy whatever I have to help the homeless out. Because you know what? My bills are paid. That's all that matters. See you in the next video.